Nice, got it. Somebody come light my mystery bag. Use the torch they've got out there. It's food. This one didn't make it.
Is that the one on the bottom?
Yeah, this was the one that was stuck down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Accuracy on those things is like freaking.
We're too far away. John, you just got laced.
know how. Wait, show the truck Kim Jong-un.
Oh man, is it the mud on your hands?
Show the truck Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
It'll move.
It's just peanut butter.
It feels like peanut butter.
I'm gonna try and get it.
Goes kind
A clear path first. Hey, you guys just go like forward.
sorts of stuff to try and get these wheels out. All these random used up Roman candles is tread. Just jamming anything they could on
that
the
one
wheels.
That one looks pretty good.
Hey, on the other floor, man.
You get a lunch in between your legs, Jess. Show us how manly you really are.
I'd like to keep my manhood, thank you. Oh, look!
Blowing up. What the heck?
There's been a couple of those tonight.
Got one.
So that was Doing Ridiculous Things with Fireworks number 3. This was the 3rd year we've done it, and we're always coming up with weird ideas and new stuff to try each year. So I just wanted to point out and tell some stories of things that happened during this trip. It was a pretty good year, but things did not go so smoothly in some ways. But some of the new things we tried this year, one of the things is that I bought a whole bunch of paper bags, and so you can kind of tell in the video that I put together like these mystery bags, where I'll throw in some different kinds of fireworks, some mortar shells, maybe a small fountain, just like whatever I could into a little paper bag, set it far away and just light the bag on fire, and then just let it set off everything from there. So we had some pretty cool results from that. Another first from this year is that we had those pretty fat Roman candles that actually had a pretty big break on the end. And so 2 guys were shooting them at each other, and then one blew up right next to my brother in the video. I mean, he was fine. He didn't hurt him that bad. I mean, we've never had any serious injuries from any of these. I mean, it's pretty common. Most of us will get at least some minor burns, maybe a couple bruises. I mean, it's kind of just what you expect when you're doing something like this. Then there was the case of the guy that his shirt caught on fire a little bit and it just burned a little hole in his shirt. The worst thing that happened to me in this one was when I was holding those 2 barrage candles. As soon as those got lit, a little burning ember flew down and landed right in my sock. And so like my hands are full, and you can see me kind of like stumbling around because just like my ankle is burning. Like my hands are full, I can't do anything about it, and so I'm just kind of like dancing around. And I also found out that because the wind was so bad, anytime I tried pointing it like towards the camera, the wind was just blowing it, all of the ash and the sparks like right back in my face. That's why I was kind of like aiming it the way I was for the most part. But now let's talk about the truck getting stuck out in the salt. So like I said, this is the 3rd time we've been out into the salt flats. And from the outside, the salt looks about the same just about any time you go out there. You know, it's just a huge, wide open area where it's just sort of whitish brown on the ground. And it's pretty hard to tell what the conditions of the salt really are until you're driving on it. And so when we first drove on it, you know, we're like, all right, this is fine. We're sinking like a tiny bit, but we can still drive. So we drove all the way out there just fine. And then while they were like driving around or like drifting or doing fun stuff, they got the truck stuck. And underneath the salt, there was just like this terrible layer of clay or just like mud. And so like the wheels were just caked in it. They could not do anything. They were just stuck in place. Well, eventually we finally towed it out of there, as you saw in the video. But let me just show you on the map some things right here. So here we have the Great Salt Flats. I mean, it's kind of huge when you don't really think about it. Because like here's Salt Lake City, you gotta drive down I-80, about an hour and a half to get out here. So all you have is this I-80. And there's like nowhere to turn around. Like there's those police turnaround spots that they say you're not supposed to use. But in previous years, so you pull off to the side, and then you just drive out, and then you just drive back to this road, and then you just find a spot to turn around, just drive through the salt, and then go the other way. So our 3 cars all come back to the road, we start driving for a while, and then we were just like, hey, why don't we just like cut across like we usually do? And so the other 2 cars were way ahead of us, and we decide to pull off, and we get stuck immediately, like right deep into the salt. And so we're like, oh no. And by this time, it's already like 11 p.m. Like it's already pitch black, and so now we're just stuck in the middle, in between the highways. And it's like pitch black outside. We turn on our flashers. I call the other cars and tell them when they turn around to come find us. So they pull over, then we try digging it out, doing all the same stuff we did with the truck. And then some police show up, and the police are kind of hassling us about it. So then eventually we get our truck to turn around again so that he can pull us out of where we were stuck. After that, we ended up having to drive all the way down here to turn around anyway. So I mean, like, that's the thing. You think, oh, like, why do we have to drive so far out there to go out here? Well, for this whole thing, there's kind of like a canal, so you can't... The soonest you can possibly pull off is like right after this. So right about here is where we pulled off. But then when you come back, you still have to drive a long way just to turn around. There's like nowhere to turn around all the way until you get to pretty much the state line. So yeah, we had to deal with 2 stuck cars, and the second one stalled us for about an hour from getting home. So we didn't get home till about 2 a.m. It was a very long night. Plus I've had kind of a cold for the past few days, so I was not feeling good already. So I'm feeling a bit rough today. I was super tired and just... But that's all for Doing Ridiculous Things with Fireworks number 3. I do have some more ideas for things to do next year, though it might be a little harder to convince people to go out again.